Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome back to the Operation Hill 100 Hearts channel where we do what? Focus on healing, humor, and hot motherfucking topics. If you're tuned into this segment of my channel, then you're tuned into the Dear Deja segment where we're focusing on the healing perspective, okay? So let's get into this Dear Deja letter. Dear Deja, I found him. I finally found my husband. I've literally been single since 2009. Last year, I gave up waiting, looking, and hoping. This man appeared out of nowhere. We've been dating for 7 months, but it feels like 7 years. Since we hit the 6 month mark, he feels it's time for me to meet his parents. I'm hyped because it's been so long since I've done this. So we took a weekend trip to his parents' house for a meet and greet barbecue with his family. They have a beautiful home, they're nice people, and they treated me very good. But, sidebar, when I was interning at a social service agency a few years ago, I started sleeping with the head clinician. He was an older, married man, but a fine ass fuck with a big ass head. Okay, with a big penis. Okay. And he was on me. That fling lasted for about 5 months, and then my internship was over, and so was he and I. Back to my man. As soon as we arrived at his parents' home, I recognized his father. He's the older, big, dick, fine, married clinician. I almost had a fucking panic attack when I recognized him. The only issue is I don't think he recognized me. Unless he's just that good at pretending, this man is engaging me like we never met or he never saw me a day in his life. He didn't even flinch when he heard my name. I love my new man and I don't want to start this relationship keeping secrets. Should I tell my man or just leave it alone? Help me. Sign, can he be mad? I took down his dad. Looky. All right, my dear. Let's run it from the top. Congratulations on your new boo. Love that for you. Love that for you. Love that for you. You waited so long and now ding, 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 ding. Here we are, right? So love that for you. Love that for you that his family is very engaging, very nice under the circumstances. Love that for you. Okay, let's run it from the top. Number one on the list, Papa Bear might not remember your ass. Okay? Because, and I'm not saying that to be mean, right? Unless you would have given me more information about the fling, you probably wasn't Papa Bear only fling. You probably wasn't Papa Bear first fling. And you probably wasn't Papa Bear last fling, right? And if he could have it so willy-nilly with you, then I'm almost sure that he's had it willy-nilly with other folks. Right? So that's probably why he didn't recognize you because he's probably had this opportunity with many other young people, young women. Because as you said, he's fine, he has a huge penis, he's clearly successful and educated. So, I mean, he could attract plenty women, right? So, that's probably why he didn't recognize you. That's A. B, maybe he did recognize you. He recognized you as the old girl I used to fuck that don't mean nothing to me, but apparently means everything to my son, and I'm not going to ruin this for him. So let me shut the fuck up and be the grown man that I need to be. Hey, sweetie, how are you doing? Nice to meet you, and God bless. Right? So it could be one of those two things, okay? Let's start there. Um, Secondly is I'm nervous for you, sis. I don't know. I'm nervous for you. I'm nervous for you. I'm nervous for you for a number of reasons, right? Number one, I'm nervous for you because of your comfort level, right? How comfortable are you being in a space with a father and son who you've both slept with? On top of that, not just you that you slept with both of them, but one of them you're looking to be serious with. So you're gonna have to be around his family, in particular this man, for the remainder or the duration of your relationship, with according to you, could be forever. Is that gonna be okay with you? Is it possible for you to have a night where you had so many drinks and reveal the secret to the family? Like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel a little bit of uncomfortability for you, and discomfort rather for you, because I don't know. Will you be able to maintain this? And the reason why I'm asking is because you're panicking right now. And let me be fair to you, right? You're not panicking because you've seen him. You're just panicking about the fact that he's related to the man that you see a future with and you don't want any problems. I don't think anybody else wants any either, but will it be some eventually down the road? Um, if I'm being honest, right? And I don't usually tell people to be dishonest in healing heart sessions, right? But let me say this. I don't know how beneficial that information will be to anybody involved in the situation. And I think you have the ability to really, really, really shake the core and the foundation of that family by sharing this news. And you also run the risk of losing what could possibly or potentially be the man of your dreams. Now, if you are a person that's saying, listen, I'm a stand-up woman, and a stand-up woman reveals her truths, no matter how hard and harsh and hurtful they may be, then let's talk about how we could do this, and let's talk about what you can prepare for in any event that this goes right or wrong, right? So if you the stand-up woman that's hell-bent on just letting this out, right? What I would suggest, my suggestion would be that you try to have some private conversation with Big Dingling Daddy, right? And I say that because he knows more about what sharing this information will do to that foundation than you do. Remember, you've only known this man 6-7 months, and this is your first time meeting his family, right? So you don't know how much family history may be there regarding the father's infidelity or not, right? And if you come opening up this can of worms, you're not just affecting your relationship, you're affecting your boyfriend's parents' relationship, you're affecting your relationship with their parents, because the mother gonna hate your ass after that, and the father gonna hate your ass because you told. Then the boo gonna hate you. But if he does decide to still stick with you, you're never going to have a good relationship with his mother. And most times and oftentimes, guys' relationships with their mother is very, very important. So if you don't have anything with her, how far are you going to get with him, even if he does forgive you for coming and rocking the core and the foundation of their loving family that you've been introduced to? But if you're hell-bent, you go to Papa Bear first as a courtesy and say, listen, I love your son. I've been waiting my whole life for him. My whole life has changed since he came in. You knew back then he was that special one. And I'm so in love, so deep in love, right? So you would have hit the father with, your genuine spiel and say, listen, I'm not going to share this with anybody but him. And I'm also not going to let him know that I shared with you. So once the ball is in his court, he has the option to either A, tell you and the mother, just talk to you alone, break up with me, whatever he needs to do. But I'm hell-bent on being honest and telling my truths, so I have to let him know. Right? Now, the father can say whatever he wants. He can say, he can negate what you're saying. He could call you a lie. He could do whatever he wants. I just think giving him the courtesy and a heads up will prepare him with how to deal with his family. Because remember, you're the outsider. That's his wife and his son. You're the outsider. So he needs to be prepared how to deal with his family after you reveal such astonishing and heartbreaking news. Right? So that's one. Now, when you go to old boy, you got to be honest, because really and truly, when you're coming to him, it's nothing personal. And that's what you started off with. I didn't know you at this time. I didn't know this man had a son. I don't want you to say you didn't know he had a wife, because you said that he was married. That's what you said, right? So you did know that. My only concern about you sharing with him that you were ready, willing, and able to sleep with a married man. He might at that point view you as a whore. And I don't know if he wants to have a future with a whore. Like, I don't know, right? But again, you go with your truth. Listen, this is what took place. I have no feelings for this man. I had no feelings then. If that's the truth, I don't see a future with him. I don't want to disrupt anything you guys have going on. I love you and I want to build with you, but I didn't want to be dishonest with you. So I felt the need to share this. Sweetie, I honestly, you didn't give me any real backstory on this man other than you love him. So I honestly cannot tell you what I even assume that he will say or do after you shared this information. But if he's a loving man and he wants to continue moving forward with you, then this you can camouflage your honesty with, because I see a future with you, I want to always be honest and open with you. And that's not at all a bad thing. That's not at all a bad thing. That's not at all a bad thing. My personal opinion, I feel the same. I feel like in relationships, no matter what, if you want to be serious with me, you have to be honest with me. That's kind of sort of a deal breaker for me. And sometimes not all truths feel good. They hurt. But at least I know that I can trust you. And that's what honesty builds, trust. Honesty builds trust. Now, it don't always make folks happy, but it builds trust because then it lets me know that no matter what happens, I can depend on you and rely on you to come to me with the truth. And I mean, these are all of the positives you could try to put, like the positive spin you could try to put on that to kind of wrap that up in a bow to get him to go with that. I'm praying, right? Now, in any event that he decides, bitch, you was fucking my father. You was helping this motherfucker cheat on my mama. You knew he was married and you a hoe. You got to go. Right? I mean, what can you do? What can you do? That's the long and the short of it. That's the reality of it. That's how he feels, and that's what it is. What I will say is this, and I just said this in my other Dear DJ letter. What's for you is for you, and never, ever in his lifetime will it miss you. Now, granted, it might take forever to get to you. There might be some bumps in the road while it's getting there and when it's with you, but it won't miss you. It won't miss you. So let's just say if old boy is like, listen, you a thought and I'm done with this, roll out, right? He might feel that in a moment, and 6 months later, he might miss you so much that he say, I'm willing to work through this, right? Whatever his decision is, you have to respect because you didn't do anything wrong with malicious intent. What you did do wrong was sleep with a married man, right? That's the long and the short of that, right? I don't know many people who's not guilty of that, including self, right? So that's the what I did wrong with. I don't want to even call it malicious intent with the intention of not giving a fuck, right? But the other part of it was not I knew his family well, not I knew I was going to fall in love with his son, not I did it while I was with his son. So none of those things were done maliciously. And if I want to give you my truth because I know I had no malice behind my actions and that still upsets you, then it's nothing that you could do about that at all. But respect his decision. But what you can hang your hat on is that I came to you and I was honest, as opposed to keeping it from you, because if you see a future with a person, most often, if not all the time, you don't want any secrets between the two of you. Me personally, I know that I'm a heavily emotional person. So my reactions to things are not always normal reactions. So I work under the guise of sometimes some people are going to keep things from me. And that's not even in my romantic relationship. That's even in my family. Normally, if it's bad news, I'm the last to know because they know the reaction that I'm going to have, right? So in a romantic relationship, your boo might say to you, listen, I ran into my ex and we talked about power, but I didn't say that to you because I know had you known I ran into her, even had 2 words with her, your fucking head would have spun off, right? So it can be, you can be in a relationship where not everything is said, and then you can be trying to build one and a part of one where we have honesty across the board. If that's what you're trying to build, then tell your truth, sis. Tell your truth. But just be clear that it can have consequences and repercussions, or it can actually work in your favor. Whatever takes place, because you being honest and truthful is not being done with malicious intent. As a matter of fact, you're trying to do something good so you can move forward with this man without any secrets, then it's nothing you can do if he's not open to that. You know what I'm saying? You have to respect if he's not. And if he is, one must be grateful, right? Because now I'm dealing with a man that lets me know I can be honest and open with him and not be shunned about it. Now, there may be questions. I mean, depending on the type of man you have, you may not want to go into detail with a lot of things that took place between you and dad, right? So let me say this. There's nothing wrong with you sharing, but I don't think it benefits your boyfriend to know if you guys had oral, if you had relations without a condom, if you guys were kissing, if there was any love making, if anything was done with dad that was done with son, yeah, you might want to refrain from those details, right? You might want to give as minimal as possible, because I don't think any man, to my knowledge, none of my exes or not even my current man, wants to hear about your sexual tryst with another man, and they for damn sure don't want to hear about it with a relative, and they for sure don't want to hear about it with their pappy. So, sweetie, you might just want to stay away from any details about the relationship. You might even want to say we only hooked up one time. Okay? Because I don't think it's to your benefit to share all of that, because you also have to remember, which is one of the things that I'm keeping in my mind and why my heart goes out to you, is that this is his mother's husband. It's his father, but it's his mother's husband. You fuck my mama, man. Like, who? Are you serious? You literally played a part in breaking my mother's heart. Do you realize that? And I'm supposed to love you and want to be with you? Ho, you got the role. I'm just, again, I'm just playing devil's advocate and trying to give you, some scenarios that can take place, right? And I think in this situation, because he's a man, and most men are extremely protective over their mom, yeah, he'll have some issues with dad, but you have to remember, dad is dad. My blood relatives. So whatever issue that we have regarding this situation, yeah, we might have it for a brief period of time, but to some degree, I will be able to forgive him, because guess what? That's dad. They're all one unit. You're the outsider. So you have to be very clear on what you want to share, and then you have to be very mindful in how you want to share it, my dear, because let me also say this, right? Be prepared to have to deal with, in any event that you guys decide to move forward, the other woman. Let me take a sip on this one. The other woman is the queen bee and the head honcho of that family. Everything, the sun sets on the shoulders of the other woman. If she is sad, mad, angry, confused, disappointed, or any of those feelings, everybody in the family feels it, because she's the center and the nucleus of that family. If you, as a woman trying to enter that family, comes in with any bullshit, not only will you feel her wrath, but you'll feel everybody else's, because everybody feels what she feels, including Sun. So, if this does hit the fan and son decides to share with dad, or son decides to share with mom and dad, or dad decides to share with mom, there may be a serious issue between you and the head honcho. And I would really, really pray that you will come in and get your healing heart sessions to help you cope with how to navigate that, because you could be coming as the nicest person, the most sincere person, the most open to a resolution person, and all those other things under the sun. And that still might not mean shit to Mama Bear, because you know us. Once us ladies get up on you, we on your motherfucking head top. We is on your head top, bitch. I don't even want you here. I don't want you around. Because, yeah, it's going to be rough. is going to be rough. And you have to factor in a few things. You have to think about how invested are you in this relationship to take on all of the things that comes with your truth. You know, do you love this man enough to say, listen, I'm willing to go through the fire for him because I see a future with him? Then if so, like I said, mommy, share your truths. Say what you need to say, get it up off your chest, let it out, and let's get on with it. Right? If that is the case, do you? But, I mean, if you do not see yourself willing to maintain stability and be strong and be willing to fight through all of the negativity to get to a place where you and these people could at least be cordial to move forward with their son and they can know how sincere and apologetic you are about what took place in the past. If you're not built for it, don't even stir it up. Don't even stir it up. And I say that because you have to factor in. This news doesn't just rock you and your boo. This news rocks his parents. If he's coming from a foundation of people who have been together his whole life, imagine him bringing a woman into the fold that will ruin that will ruin and rock his foundation, where he comes from. That's a different type of hate he could develop for you. What if his parents don't make it through that? Then what? You and him supposed to be happy now that him and his parents are over because of you? I don't know if it's realistic. You know? Also, let's just say him and his parents make it through, but now he's at odds with his parents. So let me get this straight. He's going to be disconnected from his foundation and what he knows to be with you. Does that work for you? Does that sit right with you? And again, mommy, I get it. I get it 100%. Like you said, I did not know these people. I did not know these people. And it sounds like you were in the unhealed space, which I know all too well, and making some poor decisions. I've made them as well. You know what I'm saying? And at times still make them. So I get it. I get it 100%. None of this was done with malice. I did not know y'all. And really and truly, because I didn't know y'all, I didn't fuck about y'all. I was just doing what I needed to do to feel better. And this big fine clinician was making me feel good. You know? Don't say that, but you know what I mean. Right? And I get it. You know, but I just really, really highly doubt that they'll get it. I highly doubt that they'll get it. And I feel like it'll be a domino effect, you know, and I feel like you won't bear the brunt of it. They will. And I don't know if it's fair for them to have to bear the brunt of all of your bullshit. That's not fair. So, like I said, if you are hell-bent on telling your truth, you have to be prepared for what comes after that, even if that means losing who you feel like is the love of your life. You know, you have to be prepared for that. You have to be prepared for having to deal with a lot of negative emotions from all the folks that are involved in this situation. You have to be prepared for that. You know, and more importantly, you have to be prepared for folks to now speak their truths. Because the same way how you coming in and you just speaking your truth, they may have some very not nice truths to say about you. And all of these things will come in a whirlwind. You have to ask yourself, is that something you're prepared and you can actually deal with? Because if not, that's going to be a mean setup for you, baby girl. A mean setup. And what would be even worse is if you come and you rock their corner foundation, and after you put all of that in uproar, you realize I ain't dealing with this bullshit, and now you step away from it. They are left to pick up the pieces of the shit that you shattered and broke. And granted, don't listen. Papa Bear has more onus in this situation than you. So don't ever think that I'm taking him out the equation. Remember, this is not his Healing Heart session. It's yours. This is not his Dear DJ. It's yours. Because had we be speaking to him, I would be letting him know that he took advantage of a young girl in a vulnerable situation. He was the head clinician there. He had pull. He had power. He should not have been sleeping with an intern. You understand what I'm saying? So Dad definitely, so he has more, he's the one who took the vows. You know what I'm saying? So he definitely has a large part that he plays, and I would be socking it to his motherfucking ass as well. But remember, this is not about him right now. This is about you. And I want you to really, really sit down and think about the decision that you're about to make, because once again, it does not only affect you. And it actually doesn't affect you the worst. For people who you said have been very nice to you, loving to you, have showed you nothing but care and concern since they've known you within these last couple of days of visiting and from being with their son, is that something that you're ready to put them through? So I need you to come, girl. I need you to come for your healing heart session before you do anything. I need you to come to your healing heart session before you do anything, because this is huge. And we really, really need to unpack some of this stuff. Because remember, from the Dear Deidre letter, I'm just getting a snippet of all of these little pockets of things. I need the full throttle. I need the full throttle. So I need you to come in for your healing heart session so we can really unpack all of this and make some sound decisions that's going to benefit everybody, if it's possible. All right, my dear. So thank you, thank you, thank you once again to all my people. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for writing in with your letters. Thank you for taking in my feedback. Thank you for being honest with me. I truly appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. Everybody here should be hitting the thumbs up. And last but not least, since you listened to the entirety of my letter and the feedback, what I want you to do is drop down in the comment section and leave your own feedback. I appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. Love you mucho, and enjoy your day.